Alright, in today's video, we are going to be going over Toma from Index. And this man, I'm going to be honest, he's kind of crazy. So, we're going to get right into it. We're going to go over his kit a little bit, talk about his best equips, his best crests. So, we're going to start with his skill. So, his skill, increase arts by 30. Cool. But 70 more for after the battle starts. So the first time you use it per wave, it's going to give 100 arts. And then after the first time you use it in that wave, it'll give 30. But then once you clear that wave and you get into the second wave, the first time you use it, it'll give 100 again. So it's really, really good. Especially, this is insane in the mines. And then his true art increases all allies damage to fire, light, dark enemy by 200% for 30 seconds. So completely useless if the boss is earth or water. But if they're fire, light, or dark, this is a great true art. And then his super art increases his arts gauge by 100, so he's refunding a little bit there. And then increases damage to enemy by 100% for 20 seconds. And then the best part of his kit, his art. Increases all allies' arts by 20, beautiful. And covers all allies and negates damage taken for a total of 25,000 for 30 seconds. Reduces magic damage taken by 35% for 30 seconds, and adds 10,000% to super arts multiplier. Max 150. So if you use his art 15 times, which I'm going to be honest, that's not really going to happen, but you could probably get it to like 7 times. That's realistically, maybe even 10. His art is super fast, and it has the increased arts gauge by 20, so he's pretty self-sufficient. He's got this crazy skill. You can keep spamming his art over and over. You could probably pretty easily get this to 10. And then, you know, it adds, he's going to have like a 250,000% multiplier. And the max is 300,000%. So his super art hits pretty hard, especially with the 100% damage to enemy. He's kind of slapping them. And then his abilities, his passives, the worst one, skill CT speed 20% up when near death. And you want him near death. I'm going to explain why a little bit later. And then he has the Indomitable Fighting Spirit, which is so good on taunt tanks. He has freeze and paralysis res 100% up. That's so good on taunt tanks. And then his best passive, Imagine Breaker, survives with 1 HP and will not fall for 5 seconds after that. And arts gauge 100 up, attack 100% up. So this is just going to, this means if he ever takes lethal damage, he just won't die. And for 5 seconds, he is literally unkillable to anything in the game. Like, he cannot die for 5 seconds. When you put that, like, with a taunt tank, you know, that means your whole team cannot die for 5 seconds. So, like, even if the boss has shield killer, he cannot die for 5 seconds. So, it doesn't sound that good, but it can come in clutch many times. It's very broken. And then we go over his equips. So, for his equip, his true weapon is a must-have no matter what. You slot this in 100% of the time on Toma. It's just going to give him 30% passive DR, which is so good on a taunt tank. And then for the other equips, the best in slot here is going to be Grand Crusade equips, but we're going to go over, maybe you're not that far yet and you don't know what those are. I'll explain them in a second, but the best equips that aren't GC equips are going to be, for the defense, whatever you're fighting. If you're fighting a fire boss, you want fire DR. If you're fighting a physical boss, you want physical DR. So on and so on. Whatever you're fighting, the best thing for you is just going to be the DR of whatever boss you're fighting, okay? And then support equips, I would recommend like Dignified Silence from the Mines. If you got that, that's a really good support equip. Fen's Aloha shorts. There's a Ilya's dress. That one's really good. Pretty much whatever your best 4-star support is, just throw it on him. Nothing's going to be like better on him than anyone else. So the only important part is make sure you use his true weapon. You need to use it. And then the best crest for him, number 1 is Truth of Eternity. So damage taken 20% down when near death. This is the best crest for any taunt tank ever. This is the best crest in the game for who it's going on. And then second best is going to be a crest called Godchild from the Fate crossover. So that one's exclusive. You can't really put it on him right now. But in the future, if Fate reruns, get Godchild on him. It's just Truth of Eternity. It's 7% more DR. So really good on taunt tanks. Otherwise, if you're not using GC equips, I would recommend using equipment CT. But if you are using GC equips, it depends on the equips, like, to see if the equipment CT is worth it. I think I'm probably going to swap this one to equipment CT until I get a Godchild. Once I get a Godchild from the Fate crossover, that is the second best crest to have on him. The first best is Truth of Eternity, which is from the Thursday Extreme Crest Palace. So it is a little bit exclusive. It's going to be kind of hard to get, but it's worth it. And then if we go over, so his artworks, we can look at those quick. Here's the basic one. You just got a little smirk. This is literally just Shiro's artwork. It's the same thing. And then this is literally the same artwork, but now he's holding index. It's a little silly, but, you know, whatever. I mean, I guess the only thing he has is his right hand, if you've ever seen the anime. That's literally it. That's his entire character, is his right hand. So then, Compendium, we go to the pixel art. This is attack. He's just punching. Skill, punching and kick. Okay, art, he's just protecting with that right hand because his right hand just, like, nullifies magic. So that's what he's doing. And boom. And then true art, just headbutt, kick. So I do really like how fast this art is. It's just instant, and then it's like a couple seconds, done. You can just spam it again, over and over and over. And then his super art, boom. I feel like usually, okay, maybe not, I don't know. I thought it made a little, like, thing. Maybe that was just HK Roy's. I was using them together. So it's just a punch. This punch actually does so much damage, and it is a pretty quick animation. I do really like his animations, like how fast they are. I don't think they look cool at all. It's literally just punching and kicking. But, I mean, he doesn't really have any magical abilities or anything. But just punching and kicking is cool, I guess. But I like how fast they are. That's important. So, yeah, that's going to be it for his kit and everything. Now we're going to get into a little bit of gameplay with Toma. So, the first thing we are going to do is show off, or actually, wait, hold up. I almost forgot. The GC equips. So if we go to the fusion equips, right here, if they load, not the vulture cap, these two right here, these are the fusion equips I made for him. So if we go to the materials, this is what I used to make them. So for his 5-star defense, I actually got really lucky and I got a physical damage taken down. So he already has 35% magic DR on his art. This is what I would say would be the best thing you could get for his defense slot if you're going to make a GC equip. Because now I have 41% physical DR if I ever need it. So the way you would make this is 5 of the like fire Mystica, 5 of the egg looking Mystica, and then you need Truth of Eternity for your crest fragment, which is from the Thursday Crest Palace. And then your unique Mystica, you're going to want a stable drop to give a 100% chance that you get the Truth of Eternity level 4. And then a Dominion glyph so that you have a higher chance to get this equip. And then it's kind of a 50-50 whether you get physical or magical. I just got really lucky and got physical. Physical is definitely going to be better because he already has enough magic DR. He does need a little bit help if the boss is doing physical. So this is really good for him. And then the second one I got is right here, his 4-star support. I actually got really lucky with this one too. So the materials, you're going to want 4 of the flowers and then 6 of the eggs. And then the Truth of Eternity crest, a stable drop to make sure you get the Truth of Eternity crest, and then an energy glyph. Because the energy glyph is going to get you a higher chance that you get this equip, which is going to autofill target's arch gauge by 5 for 12 seconds. And then I got a secondary effect that's actually really good. And I just put this on here because the other ones, you could get like damage up if you wanted to. You could get accuracy up, crit rate up. You could get whatever you want. But I just prefer Archgen most of the time over anything else. I just like speeding up my characters and making them use their arts faster and faster and faster. So I always prefer Archgen over pretty much anything. So I would recommend just trying this in the fusion equips. And if you get both of these equips, your Toma will be insane. I promise you. So now we're going to show how insane. So if we go to Grand Crusade, I'm going to go to area 230 and we're going to fight Sly. So if we go here and we use Gamagori in this fight, where is he? So he isn't leveled up right now, but just to show you, Gamagori is very hard to get his true art up. because watch how fast Sly is going to... I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. I'm going to go from Divine Arachnid's Tears to Gamagori. It's too slow. He shoots everybody before the Divine Arachnid Tears even hits Luvia and Rin. It's just too slow. All right, here we go. Same thing against Sly. All we have to do is use Toma's skill and art. And everything's fine. It's that simple. This is why I prefer him over everybody. He's just so helpful. And then we're going to use his super art to that. Bah! You know? And that's it. It's that simple with Toma. You literally just skill, art, and it's immediate. It's so broken. And his art is giving the whole team 20 arts. So it just keeps refunding and refunding. I love using Toma in Grand Crusade and especially Mines. We're going to show off Toma's damage and his defense capabilities, of course. And we're going to use our old team with Okaruns. Okay, so once again, we have our GC equipped, so he's basically unkillable. He's just busted. And then let's get right into it. So to start, obviously, we're just going to use our art, and boom. His true weapon is also pretty nice because if he ever does get to low health, like super low, and you want to keep him below 50% HP, if he ever gets like really, really low, like 1,000 HP, you can just hit it, and he'll heal back up. He won't go above 50% HP. He'll only heal for, I think it's 30% of his HP. Yeah. So as long as he's low enough, you should be fine. It can definitely come in handy sometimes. Just make sure if you do the GC equip, don't use his equip as soon as you get it up, because sometimes his equip, like he'll have like 50% HP, and then if you use his equip, it'll put him above 50% HP, and then, you know, he won't be below 50% HP, and he'll lose all his DR, and he might just die. I think that one was literally just HK Roy, but here we will just use Toma. We can use them too. He doesn't take earth damage. And a little bit of damage out of Toma there, you know. His super art hits hard. It's nice. It's a nice super art. But he is definitely my favorite taunt tank right now. He's just faster. He helps out the team a lot more than Gamagori did or than Kirasame does. So I prefer him over anybody else. So if you're thinking about getting him, like you have another taunt tank. If you don't have a taunt tank, definitely get him. Try your best to get him because he is really, really good. But if you have another taunt tank, then it's kind of up to you. The other one's probably tankier, but Toma I prefer because he just provides more to the team besides just being tanky. All right, and for our last fight, we are going to be going up against Titan Roy and Their Promise. The issue with this fight is Toma isn't actually going to do any damage just because he doesn't take any damage from water. So, I mean, he's not going to do much. But we're showing his defensive capabilities here without the GC equips. Now we just have normal equips. So, let's get right into it. So, obviously, to start off, we're going to use his art. And we should be able to stack it a couple times, but again, it doesn't really matter. We're kind of just spamming it so that we can get Archgen for the whole team. Okay, we're going to use a Okarun Super here just to get to the threshold. We can't really use his super arts later because he's not going to have HP, so he's not going to get the 200% Earth Res down, so it's not nearly as good. Because in this fight, once you get like halfway, he starts, like right now he's damaging us through the barrier. So we're just going to use Okarun Super Arts right away. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, now we're going to spam his True Art. And we might have to be a little bit more careful with Toma's art than we have been. But it should be completely fine. So still spamming it. That's all he's really going to do in this fight. Like, I could use his super art to get a little bit more damage. Actually, it's not going to stack with... Is Titan Roy a giant? I don't know what this is. So it'll stack with a little bit with Emps, but not too much. Okay, we're going to watch. And yeah, he's completely fine. It's a pretty simple fight, honestly. I still think we need some harder fights in the game. This is a little bit too easy for Toma. And even if he does die, like... Okay, maybe... Okay, we'll let him die this time. If he even does enough damage to kill him. Maybe not. I guess he's not going to kill him. Whatever. I was going to show you that even if he does die, his passive just makes him unkillable for 5 seconds. But, you know, he's just too good. He didn't want to die. Only doing 20 damage out of Toma, but that's okay. That's okay. So my overall honest opinion of Touma Kamijou is he's a great taunt tank. Originally, I thought he was going to be garbage. I thought he was like rip-off Shiro. Like, he only has 35% DR and he's a taunt tank. Like, where's the rest of it? Like, he's still, comparatively to other taunt tanks, he's not as tanky. But this passive 30% DR on his true weapon is insane. I don't think there's another taunt tank that just has, like, passive 30% DR on their true weapon. Like, that's a little silly. So, and his DR is just magic. So, he's definitely not as tanky as the other taunt tanks. But if you do the GC equip trick, either way, like, he's more supportive than any of the other taunt tanks. The other taunt tanks, they're just focused purely on defense. And then him, he's got a little bit of arch gen in here. He's got really good defense still. He's got a damage buff for everybody. He's got a pretty good chunk of damage himself on his super art. Overall, I actually love using him. He has the freeze and paralysis passively, busted. He has the 5 seconds of invincibility, busted. And his skill, making it so every wave you can instantly use his art. It's so nice. He's just so much faster than any other taunt tank that I prefer him over the other ones. The other ones, like Gamagori, he's going to be a little bit tankier. Kirasame is going to be a little bit tankier. But Toma is so much faster, and he provides better supporting capabilities, like this damage up, and he does his own damage. Like the other ones, they do their own damage, but this is much more damage than they do. And then he also provides arch gen. So overall, I do think Toma is the best taunt tank in the game right now. And I'm personally going to love using him for the foreseeable future. I don't think there's really a taunt tank coming out soon that's going to be better than him for what I'm using him for. Because in GC and Mines right now, like getting this art up instantly is just more valuable to me than Gamagori's extra DR. Because with the GC equips, if you can do that, he's pretty much unkillable either way. So it doesn't really matter too much. Especially if you're running Okarun in the same party with him. And I'm going to be honest, I'm always going to run Okarun. And these two together, like Okarun gives him an extra 30% DR. That puts him at 120% DR. He's pretty much only going to take 1 damage from anything. Unless the boss has DR down debuffs. But if the boss is magic, you're fine. And if you get really lucky with that GC equip and it's physical, you're fine. So, overall, Toma, hopefully, going to be here for a while. I don't see him getting replaced very soon. And, yeah, I actually really like using him. He's pretty fun. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Definitely try to get him if you don't have him. If you don't have a taunt tank, definitely pick him up. If you do have other taunt tanks, you don't really need him. But in my opinion, he is the best one. Just for the way I like to play the game. I like to play the game faster and all this stuff. You know, it's just more fun. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord. And yeah, that's it. See ya.